So this lesson is on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Have you heard of this before?
How do you pronounce hierarchy?
Hierarchy. High,
Hierarchy.
like hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
Yep.
Hierarchy.
Let's adjust this a little. Yep, Maslow's hierarchy. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and start with this reading. Whenever you're
Okay.
ready, go ahead.
Maslow, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a theory in psychology proposed by Abraham Maslow. Maslow subsequently extended the idea to include his observations of humans' innate curiosity. His theories parallel many other theories of human developmental psychology, some of which focus on describing the stages of growth in humans.
Cool. So, if you look carefully, there's also a pyramid here that has 5 different layers, right?
Yeah,
And that's what the reading is referring to.
I know about Maslow's pyramid,
Pyramid.
pyramid,
Yeah.
which is a triangle.
Yeah, it's actually a triangle, but yeah. Questions on this slide?
Now,
Okay, then. Moving on. Got some reading. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
he then decided to create a classification system which reflected the universal needs of society as its base and then proceeding to more acquired emotions. For motivation to occur at the next level, each level must be satisfied the individual themselves. Within the individual themselves.
Yeah. Each level must be satisfied within the individual themselves.
Individual themselves.
Cool. Questions on this slide?
No.
Pretty straightforward reading. Alright, so now we have some questions. How familiar are you with Maslow's hierarchy? I want you to read the question as well.
How familiar are you with Maslow's hierarchy? I'm pretty familiar. I've heard about it for the first time in school, I think, while being in the sixth or seventh grade.
So, when you were in 6th grade?
Yeah,
When you were in that grade, not while being in. When you were.
yeah, thanks.
And what did you think about it when you first heard about it?
I thought it was interesting to categorize the needs to put the needs into categories, but like I don't care if I have a need, I just try to satisfy it. I don't know how to put it, but I don't like overthink things.
Yeah, but you also have to take into account long-term and short-term needs, you know?
Yeah, but I'm pretty good at satisfying my needs and not having them conflict with one another.
That's good. Okay, so how about this next question? Why might it be important that you understand this theory?
Why might it be important that you understand this theory? I think the most important reason to know about all the categories. How do I pronounce that?
Categories.
Categories. The most important reason to know about these categories is that if you're not paying close attention to your needs and you don't satisfy them, you end up with conflicting ones like I really need to work, but I haven't used the restroom in 4 hours and I need to stop working.
That's kind of like super basic. Can you give me just like
Yes.
1 second? It's like really hot in this room, and I need to put the fan on my face because I'm sweating. Give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not in the usual room that I'm in, and this room is a lot hotter than the other one.
Yeah, no problem.
Alright, cool. So, yeah, if you ignore them, you get conflicting needs. Cool, okay. How about the next question? How might this theory vary for different people, like young, old, upbringing, available resources, etc.?
Well, young people, or at least newborn childs, care only about physiological needs. And then as you continue advancing in life, you start having safety needs and love and belonging. I think safety and love come at the same time in life.
Safety and love?
Yeah.
How come?
Well, when you realize the notion of safety, well, I think the safety is offered by people who love you and care about you.
Okay, maybe. That makes sense. But I think what it might be referring to is if you want to get love, you first have to get safety, right? You first have to be safe because if you're not safe, how can you even spend time doing like any of the loving stuff?
I was thinking more about having other people to love you, to care about you.
Yeah, I guess if they love you and stuff, maybe they can provide some of the safety. That makes sense. Okay. Uh Questions on this slide?
No,
All right, let's move on to the vocabulary.
vocabulary. Subsequently, after a particular thing has happened, afterwards.
Yep.
Proceeding. Begin a course of action.
Yeah, very good.
Intrinsic. Belonging naturally. Essential. Precedence. The condition of being considered more important than someone or something else. Priority in importance, order, or rank.
Yep, very good. Questions on this slide?
No.
All right, moving on to the next vocabulary.
Belongingness. The state or feeling of belonging to a particular group.
Yep.
Allude. Suggest or call attention to, indirectly hint at.
Yep.
Adversely, in a way that prevents success or development, harmfully or unfavorably. Correlated. Have a mutual relationship or connection in which one thing affects or depends on another.
Yep. Very good. What did you think of these vocabulary words?
I knew most of them. I don't use them while talking in English.
Yeah, these are kind of words that I wouldn't really use when I'm talking either. It's like something I would use when I'm writing something down if I want to sound smart. But I mean, if you found someone saying these kind of words in public, it would kind of sound snobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it depends on the context. Any questions on this one?
No.
All right. Now we got some more reading. Whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Physiological needs are considered the first step in internal motivation according to Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Hierarchy of needs. This theory states that humans are compelled to fulfill these physiological needs first in order to pursue intrinsic satisfaction on a higher level. Once a person's phy- physiological needs are relatively satisfied, their safety needs to take precedence and dominate behavior. After physiological and safety needs are fulfilled, the third level of human needs are seen to be interpersonal and involve all feelings of belongingness.
Very good. The
I
third
think that
level of human needs are seen to be interpersonal and involves feelings of belongingness.
shouldn't there be involve
But
because
Without
there's
the s?
yeah, because there are the needs which involve.
Maybe if you were to say which involve instead of and involves. The third level of human needs are seen to be interpersonal and involves feelings of belongingness. Well, it's referring to feelings, which is plural, so that's why it's involves.
But isn't involve plural?
Well, if you were to read it and say involve, the third level of human needs are seen to be interpersonal and involve feelings of belongingness.
I didn't understand.
The third level of human needs are seen to be interpersonal and involves feelings of belongingness.
Yeah, but involve or involves.
No, this is involved, was involved, to be involved. So this guy says it would be involves as the subject of the verb is a singular project, and you would use involved if it was referring to a plural. Oh, so we're looking for a team player for our projects which involve technical support. Hmm. You know where I got this text from?
Wikipedia.
Yeah. You'd think that it's grammatically correct, right? So if what this guy is saying is correct, I don't know how he's a senior member. I don't know. Is that good? He says it would be involves. It would in this case it's different because the subject here is technical support. Or wait,
No, it's project.
project. It's project. The third level of human needs are seen to be interpersonal. So he says it would be involves because of project. In this case, interpersonal is. To be honest, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on then.
Um, esteem need esteem needs are ego needs and esteem needs are ego needs or status needs.
Let me try reading
People
that sentence. Hold on, hold on. Esteem needs are ego needs or status needs? Esteem.
esteem needs are ego needs or status needs. People develop a concern with getting recognition, status, importance, and respect from others. Most humans have a need to feel respected. This includes the need to have self esteem and self respect.
Yeah.
What do you do to gain recognition?
Yeah, so what do you do to gain recognition?
I create Facebook posts about how you need to work hard and in a disciplined way. And people who resonate with that give me recognition.
Makes sense. Do you think doing that helps them with something?
Doing what?
Interacting with those people who resonate with those posts?
Yeah, because it brings me clients and it brings me those kind of
I didn't really hear you. Hold on, can you say that again?
yeah. Yeah, it helps me because it brings me clients and especially the kind of clients that I want. The ones who are hardworking and they don't waste their time on irrelevant things.
That makes sense. So it's like a filter.
Yeah,
By the way, I wrote like an article or like a blog post on that topic on filters. Did you happen to see it?
No.
I think you might find it interesting. And actually, as a matter of fact, maybe we could integrate it in our English lessons.
Okay.
Let's get back to it after this lesson, though. So, moving on. Hold on. This is another reading. Go ahead.
Self actualization refers to the realization of one's full potential. Maslow describes this as the desire to accomplish everything that one can, to become the most that one can be. What do you do to fulfill this aspect of the hierarchy?
Yep.
hierarchy?
What do you do to fulfill this
Can you read the
aspect?
whole slide, please?
Sure. Self actualization refers to the realization of one's full potential. Maslow describes this as the desire to accomplish everything that one can, to become the most that one can be.
Self actualization refers to the realization of one's full potential. Maslow describes this as the desire to accomplish everything that one can to become the most that one can be.
Yeah, good. What do you do to fulfill this aspect of the hierarchy?
I try to learn as much as I can and to put that into practice.
What's something recently that you learned and put into practice?
I'm in the process of putting this into practice. I started reading Principles by Ray Dalio, and he says right from the introduction that you need to have principles in order to make decisions faster. So I started writing down the sales rules. So whenever I'm having a sales call, I will follow those exact rules and I won't break them anymore.
What's an example of like these rules?
Like, don't talk with any student without their parent.
How come?
Well, they think that their parents will invest in them, but they won't unless they know who who and what are they invested money in.
Well, yeah, that's if the parents are the ones who are paying, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the your client is actually also a gatekeeper.
What do you mean?
A gatekeeper in sales is the person who you have to get through to get to the person who actually is going to pay you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, a business owner might have an assistant or like a front desk person that you might have to call them and convince them to talk to the owner, you know?
Yeah.
When I used to do sales, I would you'd have to resort to like anything to try to get in touch with the owner.
Did you do sales?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, I didn't know that. What was your closing rate?
It was terrible. But I did learn a lot, and I actually continued doing well. Okay, it was terrible at the first sales job. It was okay at the second one, and it's getting much better.
What did you sell?
First, I sold automated email marketing for small businesses, and then I sold memberships for like a fitness studio, and then I sell English lessons.
Wow. And how were you paid? Were you paid for a fixed amount or were you getting a percentage? And how
No,
big was the percentage? Because we are looking to get a salesperson on our team.
it was commission, so it was based on the number of closes that you made.
Oh, okay.
But that's kind of a problem. Why? I don't know. That's the thing with sales. I don't know. It's difficult. It's hard to tell if it's how hard it is to make a sale.
Mm-hmm. And were you cold calling the people, or they sign up for that, or how did
Yeah,
it work?
I was cold calling them.
Wow, you're insane.
Yeah. At the first one, I was calling up to 200 people a day, and I was actually only working part time. So I was working about 20 hours a week and calling 200 people on average a day.
Wow.
So you can imagine. But the second sales job was at a fitness studio, and the leads were a little warmer, but still, most of them were leads that already said no before. So I didn't get a lot of new leads. That was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
What's the closing rate for your sale for your um
Well, it used to be 20 to 40% in the beginning, but after I started learning sales, it dropped terribly. Like I think it's around 10% now.
It dropped after you started doing sales?
After I started learning how to do sales, like having a more strict process,
Why do you think it dropped?
not following the rules, not being pushy enough. Um, I think that process works way better for the US where people have credit cards and they are more likely to get into debt and to invest in themselves. But I need to be more emotional.
How do people pay you? Like, what's the most commonly accepted form of payment or given form of payment?
Wire transfer.
A wire transfer? But that takes time.
Yeah, I make them do a down payment as an online payment, like a seat reservation, and then they pay the rest.
Interesting. Cool. Maybe we continue with the lesson, huh? Moving on. Then we got some fill in the blanks.
Deficiencies within this level of Maslow's hierarchy, social belonging, can adversely affect the individual's ability to form and maintain emotionally significant relationships in the world.
I couldn't hear that last part. You're kind of muted.
Uh, Deficiencies within this level of Maslow's hierarchy, social belonging, can adversely affect the individual's ability to form and maintain emotionally significant relationships in general.
Yep, very good. Let me read it as well just so you can see how it sounds. Deficiencies within this level of Maslow's hierarchy, social belonging, can adversely affect the individual's ability to form and maintain emotionally significant relationships in general. Okay, go ahead and do the next one.
Physiological needs as traits allude to long-term unchanging demands that are required of basic human life.
Yeah, very good. Physiological needs as traits allude to long-term, unchanging demands that are required for basic human life.
Isn't there required from and not of?
Physiological needs as traits allude to long-term, unchanging demands that are required of basic human life, are required for long-term, unchanging demands that are required. Which letter, which word do you think needs to be changed? Of to for?
Yeah, from.
Of to from?
Yes, or for. Hmm.
Unchanging demands that are required for basic human life. Honestly, I think for works better in this sentence compared to of, but I think it is fine. It's not grammatically incorrect.
Okay. Should I go on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Maslow's Maslow believed that to understand this level of need, self-actualization, the person must not only succeed in the previous needs but master them.
Yep, very good.
This theory is a key foundation in understanding how drive and motivation are correlated when discussing human behavior.
Perfect. This theory is a key foundation in understanding how drive and motivation are, which word was it?
Correlated.
Correlated when discussing human behavior. You know, something that came to mind while you were reading this, something that might help would be like a role play for for sales.
Hmm.
Have you ever done role play?
No,
Really? You haven't?
no, and probably I need to do that.
Yeah, you need to do that. Um, do you want to do it now?
Yeah, we can do it.
So the next activity was going to be sentence structure. Um, we could either do this or the role play.
Let's do the role play.
All right, let's do the role play. All right, but first I need to understand your client. Like, what is your client?
There are three categories of clients. First of all, there are the school students who have also a parent nearby. They want to become better at coding. They already studied in school, or they try to learn some things from tutorials and they're not able to do that. The second one is the college student who studies something in something related to STEM, and he wants to become a programmer. He realized that what he's doing is money or a lot of job security, and he now wants to switch to this. And the third kind of person is someone who works in a different domain and wants to switch careers because his career is boring, uh, or is not doesn't feel that he evolves. Also, he's not well paid, and
Okay,
so on.
and how do you get in touch with your clients? Do they call you or do you call them?
They schedule an interview.
Like online and stuff?
Yeah,
It's like automated process?
no, it's almost automated, but I read all the applications and I only accept the ones whom I think are serious and they want to like really do this.
All right, so they schedule an interview, and how long is this?
An interview
Yeah,
at
30
most
minutes.
1 hour, 30 minutes, 1 hour.
And then at the end of this, you determine if they're good or not, and then you have them, then they sign up as a student.
Yeah, I make them an offer if they're a good fit. Then they say that they don't have money. Then I ask them, is money the only problem, and so on.
Then you ask them all the questions. What are the top questions that you ask?
Is there anything else that prevents you from starting?
And what is the number one answer?
No,
And then they sign up, right?
no.
Why not?
Well, it's super difficult to do sales here in Romania because like money can actually be an issue, like not having money compared to the US where you can always. Uh, I'm not 100% sure how credit cards work, but I think you can go with that of
Do
like
people here not have credit cards?
no, and they're afraid of banks.
So they avoid using credit cards,
Yes,
which means they can't pretty much buy anything online.
they have debit cards like the regular ones.
That doesn't work. That's not enough. They need credit cards.
I don't have a credit card,
How do you buy stuff online?
like using my regular card.
Your debit card?
Yeah,
How do you buy bus tickets from the bus stations?
I don't travel by bus.
Okay, but
I
how?
don't. I live downtown, so I don't need to use buses. I use very rarely, and I bought an electric scooter, so I can get around the city pretty quick.
Anyway, yeah, having a credit card is very useful, but it can be a trap.
Yeah, true.
All right. Anyway, so for the role play, I get now I have a better idea who your potential client is, and I'm going to choose to be a I want to be someone who wants to switch domain. Okay, and that's all you know.
Yeah,
All right. After or sorry, before the interview, what do you know about your client?
I know why he wants to do this. His if he's in one of those three categories. Um, I also know the biggest challenge he overcame in his life. How much time is he willing to spend on this? His financial situation, and why should I choose him? But usually I don't read those, or I don't read them during the sales call.
All right. So let's go ahead and start the role play. After you get the information about the interview, what happens next? You call them or they call you?
I call them on Skype. Like we have a schedule, a fixed time schedule. Like they book a slot in my calendar.
Yeah. And then it's like this, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's just say that the call just happened, and ring, ring, ring. We both answer.
Okay. Hello, Johnny. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Where are you from?
I'm from America,
Whoa. Which part?
Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, so you live in a desert. How's the weather?
It's really hot, like 40 degrees, and that's normal.
Oh,
Celsius.
wow, you know Celsius. That's a good start. Let me tell you what's gonna happen now. We're gonna start having a discussion in which I'm trying to understand your current needs. Why do you need help? Which parts are the most difficult ones? And then, uh, if I think I can help you, I'm gonna present you with the next steps and enroll you in the program. Otherwise, I'm gonna try to refer you. Maybe a buddy of mine can help you better, or at least I'm trying to give you some advice so you have at least a direct direction.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, let's get started then. What motivated you to apply to this mentoring program?
Well, I'm thinking of switching my job, or I guess what I want to do. I want to, do some coding, maybe get a job at Google.
Hmm. Why do you want to do that?
I don't know, I think it would be cool to work at Google. I mean, you have experience working at Google, right?
Yes.
And how was that?
Well, it was really nice. A lot of smart people, um, free food, interesting technical challenges, a good salary. I only was in an internship,
Oh, okay.
so I came back and worked on well code further.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you wanna work at a big company? What are you doing now?
Um, Now I teach, tutor online, but I think a big company would be an interesting experience.
What do you mean?
Like, there's a big reputation. Like, Google is a big known company, and everything I see online is said, it looks like a cool place to work, and they have like pods where you can sleep.
So that's the only reason why you want to switch careers? Like you can buy a pod and you can arrange your house however you want.
Nah, that's not the only reason. It's also because it seems like something that's more stable and something that's where I can make more money. I
How
mean, it
much are
doesn't
you
have to
earning?
necessarily be at Google, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, you want to work for a big company and have a better salary.
Or even a
What's
startup. A startup would be cool.
mm-hmm. Yeah. What's your current income?
My current income? Um, I mean, why is that important for this?
I'm trying to search for the most determined people to learn coding because it's a very difficult thing to do. So we had a lot of people on interviews who are doing really well financially, and they weren't that willing to start because they didn't have fire burning them. So I'm trying to understand your situation in terms of revenue,
You
if you
just
have
so
any
you
of
want to
that.
know if I make enough money?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
And how would you?
My parents are planning to help me with this.
Okay. Well, then, what kept you from starting until now? Like, how long have you been teaching English?
Oh, for a long time. But that's
What
the
do you mean by
reason.
long time?
I've been teaching for like 5 years or so.
Well, 5 years.
Yeah, so I've been teaching a while. Maybe it's time I try something new. It's hard to hear you.
Sorry?
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Well, that's a lot of time. So, what kept you from starting earlier? Why right now? Why is it now the right moment?
Um, Really, it's because I want to try something new. I just woke up and decided, why not?
When was this time when you woke up and you decided to try this?
When I scheduled the interview, I mean, like when I, you know, put my information in and all that stuff.
So, like less than a week ago.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe a few days ago.
hmm And what do you know about the domain apart from like Google videos or and all the benefits?
Um, what do you mean? Like,
Like, do you have any coding experience? Are you constantly using a computer in your work?
um, yeah, I had some coding experience in college, but it's not much.
No, okay. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, we had to make a website and I had to make, we had to access databases and write some SQL and some C sharp. So I have some of the, idea, but I'm not like good at it, you know? I want to get good enough so I can get paid.
Oh, okay. So let's suppose that everything works really, really well in the short term. Where do you want to be in 6 months, 1 year from now?
6 months,
Yeah.
uh, have a job at Google or a startup.
Yeah. So the thing is that the preparation for Google takes way more than 6 months with
How,
your prior experience.
how long do you think it'll
Uh,
take?
well, I'm not completely sure, but it will take at least 1 year. Like you can't do it faster than that.
1 year. And often will I have to, how much time will I have to invest per week over the course of this 1 year?
Yeah. So in our mentoring program, you have to spend at least 20 hours of individual work per week in at least 4 different days, and you also need to sleep for 8 hours.
So
So
it's
it
like a
doesn't work.
part-time job.
Yeah.
I see. But what if I have to work and I don't have enough time.
Well, then you can apply again when you have enough time. I'm very interested in delivering good results to my clients, and if you can't respect those demands, then I won't be able to guarantee results. So I don't
That
want to
makes
mess.
sense. But how do I know that I'm gonna find a job after doing your program?
This is our process.
I
It
can't hear you.
works.
Hold on, I can't hear you. Okay.
This is our process. It worked with other clients. Like if I just want to ask you a different question. So, are you the person who shows up for work early, who does his job well, and completes all his tasks, or are you more the kind who comes in late, doesn't really do his job? I'm like, look,
I
you
mean,
know,
obviously I'm gonna tell you that I'm the person that comes in early.
well then, if you follow our process, there's no way. If you respect everything we tell you, there's no way you can find a job as a programmer.
Okay, makes sense. Um, so how do I start?
Well, first of all, before starting, I want to make sure that you are okay with what I said about time management, about working 20 hours per week. This will be for at least 6 months. So after 6 months, this is the length of the program. You'll be able to create your own apps. You'll have a good portfolio. You'll start getting interviews.
And then
Um,
I'll be making money?
so that depends on how well you do on the interviews. Like some people are stressed, they are not getting in, they don't get an offer after the first interview. So,
Oh, I see.
but
But I'm
but
terrible
that's
at interviews though. I'm really bad at interviews. What if I spend all this time learning to code and I'm just bad at interviews? What do I do then?
well, you can apply to a lots of companies and practice the interviews because you're very fortunate to be in the US and having like not requiring a visa because most of the tech companies are in the US and they require people to have a work permit there. So you can apply to hundreds of companies. So you can practice that. If you have trouble with interviews, we can give you feedback and help you improve.
Okay. So that's cool. And all the classes are online, so I don't have to like go anywhere. And what about like support? How do people help me? Like if I need help with the coding and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we offer 24 to 48 hours support. So that means when you ask a question, you'll get an answer the same day or the worst case the following day.
Okay.
Um, you get support on the platform. Everything is online on the platform. You can learn it whenever you want. If you don't know how to solve a problem, you can just ask a question there, and me or someone from my team will help you right away.
And you have like chat rooms or something or what?
No, it's a comment section,
Oh, okay.
and also we provide support on a Facebook group. That's very important when you reach the later steps. When you create an app, we'll give you feedback on what you read, on what you write. But first of all, you need to, before starting to implement your personal project, you need to post a plan over there so that we make sure you won't waste time coding something which is messy and which is difficult to improve. So in that way, we'll give you support there.
Okay. Sounds good to me. How do I sign up?
So before that, I just want to make sure that you're really determined to do this because it's a long time commitment. It's also an important investment in yourself. So I want to ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to actually do this?
10 out of 10. Definitely.
Okay, because if you'd say like 7 or 8 out of 10, then we had to stop this call. All right, so you can start after you pay us the fee. After you
Okay.
pay us the fee.
And how can I pay you? Like what forms of payment?
Yeah, so um, you can pay us online. The cost of the program is $1,200, and after you pay, you can start right away.
And the program is good. Like I'll have access to all the material and stuff.
Yeah, and I'll have to ask you some more details so I can give you Facebook access. And
Okay. But do you have like any discounts or anything like that? Or like package deals or something?
no, no, this is the program. It will be for 3 months, and after that we'll have a call in which we'll evaluate you. We'll see how well you learned, and we'll see the next steps.
Okay. Sounds good. Let me pay you now. Let me get my credit card. Okay, roleplay over.
Okay,
What did you think?
I think we need to do this. So I'll have to talk to Bianca and see when we'll start the international sales process.
International.
International, because I have trouble with some words,
Like
and I'm
what?
not sorry.
Which words?
So I don't know for sure, but there were some points where I didn't know how to say what I wanting to say.
What do you mean?
Um, I forgot exactly where I got stuck. Oh, when I was talking about the time commitment, if it's okay with you, I should
Yeah.
have said like if you're okay with
I
it's
can't
fine.
hear you.
It was when I was saying about the requirements, when I was asking if you're sure you can meet them.
Yeah. And
Um, I don't know what else, but I didn't feel confident enough
why do you think you didn't feel confident enough?
because I was not 100% saying what I was thinking. There were some nuances which I couldn't express.
Yeah, because you usually do this call in Romanian, right?
Yes,
So it's very different.
yes,
Why would someone in America sign up with your website rather than one from America?
because you get support because we have the process which works. We have clients. We teach you how to solve problems. And I don't know of any other platform or website which offers the same things. They offer instant gratification, so they try to hide the complicated things
Like what?
like problem solving. This is a very important skill. A lot of companies ask nowadays, and some brain teasers combined with programming, and because of that, you can't just learn HTML and CSS and some JavaScript and pass the interviews.
Yeah, of course. What about the interview skills? Maybe you should also help with that.
Yeah, usually the interviews are straightforward if you pass. If you go through our whole content, you only need to learn. You only need to learn the um, classical interview problems depending on what position you're applying to. But after we grow, we can hire a person just to do mock interviews.
Makes sense. Cool. You know what would be good though? After I upload this, you can watch it and then you can take notes and then we could do another role play.
Hmm.
When I
Yeah,
was when I was doing sales, I would do role play with my manager and we would record um the interaction and then I would take notes after I listened to it again.
yeah, yeah. I record my sales calls too, but I don't watch them.
You should.
Yeah,
Just like how you
everyone
should
tells
be
me that.
watching like your lessons and stuff.
Yeah.
I watch my lessons sometimes when I have time. I just watch it and I think like, wow, I could have done that much better, or I could have done that much better, stuff like that.
Hmm. How do you do sales when you teach English? So you have that free lesson, free 30-minute lesson.
Um, no, I don't do that anymore. Now it's just a 15-minute like meeting, and I ask them questions like their goals, their level, why they want to learn it, that sort of stuff. If they're comfortable with me uploading the videos on YouTube. Um, and then if everything is good and they want lessons and I qualified them, then we schedule a full lesson and they pay me.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward.
Have
It's
you
low
tried?
it's low commitment.
So you haven't tried selling like 1 month of lesson, or
I
actually
I did
start.
something similar where I have like 6 lessons for a cheaper price per lesson.
Mm-hmm.
That way you can save money and then you know that you're gonna have some consistency.
Mm-hmm. I'm super happy that I know that you do sales because I was that article about it. Why did you quit your sales job? I feel that
It's
it's
hard to hear you again
Why did you quit your sales job? I feel that
because I
a
wasn't
very
getting enough leads. And the leads I was getting were too difficult. I wasn't making enough sales. I wasn't closing enough.
okay.
And for me to get enough better leads, I had to spend a lot of time getting like I don't know. It was too much of a time commitment, and that's why.
Yeah. Okay.
But the skills I learned from those sales jobs apply to a lot of areas, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I realized. I'm way better at interacting with people now.
Yeah, exactly. The that first job I had when I was doing sales was an internship actually, so it wasn't even like a job. But I think that taught me mm, like more than half of my whole entire college degree. Just that sales thing.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you most that you learned in sales?
Qualifying people, like not wasting time with people.
Qualifying?
Yeah. Like I prefer to be alone than to talk to someone who's not good enough.
Who isn't like dedicated enough for your program?
Yeah, and also in life in general, like not wasting time with random conversation or random people just for the sake of not.
Well, sometimes when you have random conversations with random people, you end up talking about something that you can actually help each other with.
It's very that happens very rare to me.
It happens very frequently to me.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I need to go now because I'm entering a call in 10 minutes.
Yeah. And we also started this meeting earlier, so let me just finish this.